Now, my name is Anthony Chege. I work for Ajira Digital as a regional coordinator for training and mentorship. And that is what I do for employment. I've been working there for the last 5 years now. I've been an online worker, and I am still an online worker. I've worked online for the last 9 years since I was in university. And that is what I still do as an empowerment program through where I work today. I started off as a writer. I know you've heard of writers. I was doing article writing while I was in high school. While I was in university. That was way back in 2015. Na zile articles nilikuwa naandika sana sana ni articles za leather items. I started off as a person who markets leather items using article writing. So a company in Australia manufactures leather products. They have handbags, belts, cup coasters, okay, wallets, all manner of the leather items. And every week my work was to write 3 articles for them to market those products in Europe and in Africa, okay? Everything that you see on Google is the product of writers. Are you together? So first of all, let's understand online work that way. Google as a platform is a skeleton. Without content writers, there is no information on Google or any website on earth, okay? So our work as writers is to feed websites with content. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa inanifeed nikiwa campus. I come from a humble background such that mimi singepewa anything beyond 300 per week nikiwa campus. Are you together? And so I had to do something to kind of sustain myself, and that's how I discovered online work. So that company, I could write for them 3 articles. Each article I was being paid 1,200. So 1,200 times 3 per week, you're able to get your own 3K. Hapo, your time dollar ilikuwa chini kidogo, okay? But that way you could sustain your rent, vitu kidogo kidogo, and basically sustain your living. And then I transitioned to another platform called Odesk. Today it is called Upwork, and I've been working there as a virtual assistant. So online work is what I do for most of my time. Employment to me is something that comes as a blessing on top of what I've been doing for the last 9 years. And now working for Ajira, we preach that same gospel. So I'm here as an online worker and also as a remote work advocate, an ambassador of a program that champions for this kind of knowledge for people to be able to learn. Now, Ajira Digital was formed out of this. The previous minister wa ICT, Joe Musheru, happened to be working in US before he became a minister. And one thing he learned is that in the US, 1/3 of the people work online, okay? 30% work online. So akakuwa curious kujua, awase ni nini hufanya? Can we bring it to Kenya? So he learned that companies like this one that we are here in today, Meridian, they don't need to employ somebody on a 3-year contract to be designing for them graphics, to be managing their social media page, right together, to be writing marketing items for them online. So who does that work? It is done by somebody in the house who has mastered the skill, who knows the brand ideology and everything, and is able to put it up online through marketing content, okay? Akajua, okay, so all this is not done by employees, it is done by gig workers. So how can we train people to be gig workers? And many, many other skills. And that is how Ajira Digital Curriculum was formed and brought to Kenya. And it found me in second year of the university. I was among the first people to be trained. Kitu ya kwanza tuliulizwa ni, is there something that you have learned here in school na unajua? Tukasema yeah. So tukaambiwa our mind is that now you have to think about monetizing what you know as early as now. Hiyo kitu kidogo unajua, anza kujiuliza nani anahitaji hiyo kitu. Are you together? And that is how our mind started like thinking out wild. Mi najua hesabu by the way, nilikuwa napenda chemistry sana nikiwa form 4. nilikuwa napenda hesabu, nilikuwa napenda biology. So those kind of crazy questions are the ones now you are told, now start asking yourself, who needs those kind of things today? So the moment umetulia tu hivi umefunga macho and you start thinking, by the who needs this? You discover the person who needs that is not even in Kenya. Hayuko mahali unatafutanga job. Hapo kwa PSC, kwa website NYS, County Public Service, huyo mse anahitaji hiyo skill, hayuko hapo. So where is that person? Are you together? And that's why I discovered, okay, so I was wako mbali, because my first client was in a platform that is called Got It Inc., where in UK watoto watai kwenda tuition, okay? Mtoto ana struggle na hesabu, lakini ni holiday, hataki kwenda tuition physical, akiakae shule tuition na bado akifungua arudi shule. So there is this issue of doing online tutoring for people who want to learn a skill. And so I was introduced to a platform ambayo it is teaching people how to learn different skills online. Somebody is a Chinese, they want to understand English, you teach them. They pay you hourly or even on a milestone basis. So I was given some kids in UK who are struggling with maths. Hesabu ya primary inaweza kushinda? Tuseme tu kizungu inaweza struggle now, but hesabu ya primary, formula ya kutafuta area of something is universal. Huko UK na huko, si ndio? So when you are given somebody to teach and you are paid in dollars, so you are monetizing a skill that you thought could be useless. So mind yetu ikaanza kutweak hivyo. Where are people who need things that we have been taught in the current system? And that is how now we ventured into online. We discovered that a lot of things that we know, mingi zinahitajika na watu hata wako Kenya. They are in platforms, we'll be discussing where we find them. But the whole knowledge about to navigate that space is what is the content of the Ajira Digital curriculum. So the curriculum covers everything that you need to know to get started as an online worker, as a remote worker, and to excel as a remote worker. So sisi vile tulifunzwa tukiwa kampo, we formed a club. A club ni kama vile tuko hapa, tulikuwa C35. Our work was to regroup all the time. Ukijua kitu kampya unaniambia, nikijua nakwambia. And we want, if we see others who want to join us, we kind of train them. And that's how we grew into that. The government was able to see what we were doing. I was in KU pale, okay, Thika Road. Vile tuli graduate, we were given internship. I worked for 1 year still training people. And now I'm here, 5 years down the line. Sawa. Yeah. So let me go into the Ajira Digital Program. So this is a Government of Kenya project. In project ya Gava under the Ministry of ICT and Digital Economy. So hapo kwa digital economy ndio sisi tunaingilia as Ajira Digital Program. So it's a Government of Kenya project under the Ministry of ICT and Digital Economy. But currently, it is operating as a PPP, Public-Private Partnership Project, because we have a lot of private sector partners who have loved this idea, and they have said that we want to join you people as government, empower you, so that you can have a better outreach to many other people. These partners, you can see them here. We have the MasterCard Foundation, our very generous funding partners. We have eMobilis. They are more into operationalizing the hubs that we have and managing all the key leads, the trainers who work for the program. And we have KESCA, Kenya Private Sector Alliance. Kazi yao ni kuangalia the demand side. What we are training is their demand here in Kenya, and we are going to give examples of that. So our focus is to enable 1 million Kenyan youth to access digital and digitally enabled jobs annually here in Kenya. So we work to make sure that as many youths as possible wanaweza access online jobs. How do we do it? We offer free training to everyone who is interested to become an online worker and to discover how to get started with digital work. Free training. I want you to do your research here in Kenya and get to know the prices of this kind of training, and if there is anyone else who can train you for free. So we offer free training, and we've been doing it. How are we able to do that? Currently, we have 110 trainers spread across the country, full-time workers who are managed by the program, and 106 mentors who double up as center managers. Tuko na centers ama hubs ambazo tumeweka computers in the community where people can basically walk in every day, access free computers, access free Wi-Fi, access somebody who can train them, mentor them to become a digital worker. Number 2, we want to position Kenya as a choice labor destination for digital workers. Are you together? Let me ask a question. In terms of digital readiness covers things like connectivity, internet, how many people have devices in Kenya. Where do you think we rank in East Africa? We are ranked as number 1 in terms of digital readiness. So when people have smartphones, when people can speak good English, that's already an asset, okay? So it can market you to other places, and that has given us quite a higher rank, as we will see, when it comes to digital work in Kenya, okay? So we want to position ourselves that any company that wants to outsource call center services, that wants to outsource digital marketing services, that wants to get good software developers can think of Kenya to find people who can work remotely. And the third one, of course, is to have as many hubs as possible. Currently, we have 106 digital hubs, fully equipped. All kama iko na computers, 106 in Kenya, with center managers, free access for people in that community. That kila siku unaingia pale, unatrainiwa, unatumia kompyuta vile unataka, jioni ukiiva, ukipata pesa, ukinunua laptop yako, mwingine anakuja, anatumia ile, anafunzwa, anaenda for sustainability. Are you together? And of course, we operationalize clubs. You've been in school, kuna wenye walikuwa club ya scouts, wengine club ingine, si ndio? So we also operationalize Ajira clubs in every university in Kenya, as many as possible. Here in University of Nairobi, you have an Ajira club. The members of this club are basically online workers who have volunteered to be peer mentors. They mentor others in school. Working online is basically ile job unaezaenda kufanya kwa ofisi. You do it via the internet. Are you together? There are people who go to the office, like Upper Nation Center, every day to write newspapers. Do you need to be in an office to write a newspaper? All you need is content, the idea of the writer, you put it down in writing, you send your work, or you do document collaboration, and it's done. Sindio? Yeah, you don't need to be in an office to kind of design a poster. Kitu kama hii, you can design from home and somebody pays you. Okay? Even all manner of consultancy jobs, apart from agriculture, medicine, you can meet with your client online and do it. So I want to make that distinction that as I proceed, online work does not require any investment. All you require is your skill and the job itself. The medium is the internet. How do we achieve sustainability as digital workers? Now that ndio theme ya IYD ya this year. The aspect of sustainability is whatever you get today, it is able to sustain your life for the time to come, sindio? And it has no effect on exhausting the current resources, sindio? When you are employed, you can sustain your living, and that is all that we want to, or all we care as Ajira Digital program. Your online work success majorly depends on how many clients that you are able to attract, as you are going to see in the coming slide as we proceed. But I want you to imagine yourself working for someone you don't know, okay? And these people, the only motivation they have is that you have a skill and I have work, you can do it, I don't need you in my office, and you can do the job. And I was happy because at KESCA I learned that you people operate with remote teams from diverse locations. Sindio? Assuming all these people are being paid or they are not, so you people are able to work. Now imagine that same thing with now somebody in US. That is all remote work is all about, and we have a lot of marketplaces for this. Now I want us to look at the nature. Hii job inakaanga aje, like remote work, digital work, inakujanga in what form? And I want to start with the first point, which is generation of online work. Hizi jobs inatokanga wapi? Kwa nini tunasema hatuna kazi? Now, I'll tell you about me. I don't know about you, what you do. But for me, I apply for at least 7 jobs in a week. Are you together? Regardless of whether I'm employed or not, I've been doing it for the last 9 years since I was an online worker. So where is this work? This work is generated by companies. A lot of companies that are generating what they call non-core work. When you're kwa biashara hapa, you will realize that as your business grows and expands to become a bigger thing, wewe kama manager ama mkuu wa your business, you tend to concentrate on high priority items. Si ndio? Kuna meeting kubwa mahali unaenda Westlands to meet a certain investor. Okay? There is a conference in Dubai. Kuna vitu unataka kwenda kufanyia clearance Mombasa. Huwezi kaa chini u design graphics na wewe useme ati wewe ni manager. Si ndio? Huwezi kaa chini ati una manage social media page na wewe ndio CEO. Si ndio? So managers tend to concentrate on high priority items, and that leaves a lot of non-core work with some attention to do. And that non-core work is usually outsourced to freelancers or online workers or companies who have positioned themselves as remote workers. Okay? And later you can kind of research what are the most outsourced types of jobs when it comes to digital work. Mnaona hizi vitu mnapigianga call center, unapata mtu amechukua na kuguide. Usidhanie huyo msee ati amekaa Safaricom. Do you need to be at Safaricom HQ to pick a call and tell somebody what to do when they block the pin? All you need is to access their system, to be given that access by Safaricom, to be given a contract, and to understand the code of operation for Safaricom. Jumia the same. Ulinunua kitu haijafika, you call. Do you think that somebody is working for ako kwa Jumia mahali? People who are outsourced to do those kind of jobs ni wale watu wamejiuliza ni skill gani inatumika kwa hii job, and then they learn that skill, and then they form a company, a brand, or even as an individual they go and position themselves as a virtual assistant doing customer service, doing call center or something like that. So the moment you position yourself there, all you need as an online worker is to have at least 5 people who can afford for you a job worth 2K in a week. For the rest of your life, you will never need employment, trust me. And I want to give you a scenario. Think of a village you come from, uko Ocha. That village, somebody ameanza kufikiria hivyo. Amepata job ya graphic design in a company like, let's say, India. Okay? That person is able to earn, let's say, 10K per week. Msi ataanzisha biashara hapo kwa hiyo town. Si ndio? Maybe akona cyber ama akona any other type of thing. Ame-employ mtu. Si ndio? Then mseju ako-employ, ako-able to feed their families. Si ndio? If you have 10 online workers investing in their town, that is how a town grows in a change to shape without knowing what is the formula that you are doing. So this work is generated like that, and I've given you a scenario of what non-core works looks like and how work is generated. Now, what are the marketplaces? Hii kazi iko wapi? Are you together? Hii kazi iko wapi? We find it majorly in these 2 spaces here. Remote work accounts and direct clients. Okay? A direct client is like a manager somewhere who gives you the job. I'll be honest about what I've done this week. This week, I was writing a proposal for somebody who has a very interesting innovation. Msi ako tu hapa Nairobi, hapa International House, si mbali. And they are writing a proposal to Safaricom. And because it's a copyrighted idea, I will not reveal the details of what it is. Are you together? But I'll give you this background and tell you this. M-Pesa was somebody's proposal. They approached Safaricom. Si ndio? Si mnasikianga story ya mse? Kuna a lot of rumors za vile alifanyiwa nini, vile alifanya. We don't want to go there. Si ndio? Number 2, Skiza Tunes was somebody's idea. They wrote to Safaricom. Safaricom adopted it. Si ndio? Na akaambia mse, sasa unataka tulipane aje? Hiki tusimetuachia, si tumeona inaleta do. Tunataka tulipane aje, mse akalipwa akaenda. There are thousands of people here in Kenya today who are writing such kind proposals to a lot of brands. Lakini kama uko kwa nyumba tu umelala, hujui Safaricom wanafanyanga nini, hawezi kuwa na idea ya kuimprove processes zao, si ndio? So something like M-Pesa and Skiza Tunes, hizo ni idea mbili nimesema ziliandikwa na msee. So that is an example of a direct client. Okay? It's not a brand, ni mtu tu amefikiria, unamfanyia ile kitu amefikiria. Are you together? Others come in form of somebody is having a wedding. They cannot design a poster of them and you know the wedding dates, picha yao mzuri, si ndio? And they give you that kind of work. And then we have remote work platforms. So these direct clients can either give you the job or they can post it in a place that advertises for remote jobs. Have you heard of Upwork? Yes. Have you heard of Flex Jobs? Yes. Kuna ingine ilikuwa inaitwa Remote Task. Ilifungwa Kenya, si ndio? Those are just three. Ziko mingi sana. So those are platforms. So huko pia tunapatanga a lot of work. Zingine ni kama isa nimewaambia innovations, business process outsourcing. You have a nice voice as a lady. Unajiuliza where can I sell this voice? You can be a nice call center agent. Si ndio? You position yourself as a call center agent na unapata company inafanya digital marketing kama Glovo. Wanataka kuconcentrate on main business. Wewe ni wakusaidia wase wako na complaints. So ask yourself at this point, ni nini niko nayo inaweza kuwa outsourced na mtu? That takes us to that point, what do you sell? What do we sell online? Are you together? Let me tell you one simple thing about digital work. And I started by demystifying what online work is not. Sindio? You cannot earn anything in this world unless you are selling something. So, it's about the product you are selling or the service you are selling. So pia kwa online space, lazima ujiulize, now that sio product kama hii, this bottle of water that you are going to give somebody akupe 50 bob, what is it that you can sell? So, and on this question, I want you to ask yourself this simple question. Number one, do you have a skill? And the next question I want you to ask yourself is, do you know how to do something? It is the same question. Kuna kitu unajua kufanya? The next question I want you to ask yourself is, do you know it well? Are you together? Do you know it well? If the answer to those three questions are yes, you are an online worker. You can be a very great, good online worker. Are you together? So I want to give an example. Graphic design, okay? Do you have a skill? Yes, I have a skill. What is the skill? Graphic design. Are you together? Question number 2, do you know how to do something? Yes, I can make posters. Are you together? Question number 3 is, do you know it well? Kama unaijua poa, si mnaonanga poor posters and good posters. If you know it well, that's all that you need to be an online worker. Are you together? Yeah. In Kenya tunakuanga na hii temptation, na hiyo ndio inaharibia sana career za watu, online work or not online work. Knowing very little of everything. Okay? You are 10% writer, 10% public speaker, 5% dancer, okay? 4% model, okay? Hizi vitu zote ziko below average, mwisho utakuja kuwa scammer. Are you together? Are you together? That is how we lose ourselves. When you are 10% of things, everything uko below average, uko nje. Do this. Be good in something, be at 90% on something, hizi zingine wacha zikuwe 10%. Ask yourself, what is it that I know very well? Hizi zingine wacha zika, fuata hii kitu moja. One thing that online works makes to you, digital work, is that it makes you a continuous learner. That person who I was doing for them writing for articles, I became so good in leather. Mimi najua sana vitu za leather process yake yote. Okay? Such that nikimarket hiyo kitu kwako na kuguzia tu ile kitu nataka kusikia. So I mastered that so well, but it came a time when this person required somebody who can do something else. Okay? They needed more graphics than articles. So the first thing aliniuliza, can you do this? Because already trust iko tick. Ashani trust. Umsi ako Kenya, anaweza nifanyia kazi vizuri. bila kupitisha deadlines na vitu kama hizo. So trust iko sawa. So before I look for a graphic designer, wacha nimuulize kama ako sawa. Okay? Na nimwambia mimi niko sawa. Never say no. I was not good. Mimi sikuwa najua anything beyond there is this poster my wall, a very simple thing that is used to create posters, okay? Right now I'm good in Photoshop, niko poa Illustrator, niko poa CorelDRAW, okay? Niko poa Canva, all because hii kitu ilituma nisome by force on YouTube na sijairudi shule, just YouTube, right together. So it made me learn something because my client needed it. So heri kazi kuforce kusoma, okay? Kuliko the other way around, kusoma bila kujua hii kitu itanipeleka wa. So online work, you join that space where kazi inakuforce kusoma. I want us to go into some magic numbers here, and this place I'm going to engage you. So 63.7 million, okay? I want someone to tell me, what does that number represent? 63.7 million are the number of active mobile users in the country. You knew it? Active mobile users in the country. Sawa. So, exactly. Yes, we have more SIM cards than we have people. Right together? And we have more phones than we have people. Sawa. So that tells you something about our digital readiness. So, like she has two, okay? Na najua kuna watu hapa wako na SIM card more than one. I think it's normal. Kukuwa na Airtel na Safaricom ama hata Safaricom mbili, si ndio? So, when investors come to Kenya na wanauliza, by the way, we want to know and assess your digital readiness as a country. So, huku Kenya ni watu wangapi wako na smartphone? Tuanze na kaunti ya Nairobi. Wanaambiwa smartphones ziko Nairobi ni mingi kuliko adults wa Nairobi. Si ndio? So already wanaona hapa, in case we want to bring any work that should be done on social media, that should be done on digital apps, Kenya is a good place already. Sawa. So that's the first magic number, and it will form our next debate in the next slide. The next one is 2.4 million. 2.4 million is the number of online workers we have in Kenya. Right together. This according to KESCA 2023. Imagine you are not part of it. How do you feel? 2.4 million. Okay, this is not from one platform, from all platforms. I can give you a rough numbers, like 70,000 of these are on Upwork. They work fully on Upwork. 24,000 they work fully on Fiverr. Right together. Others like me, we are into direct clients, but we are part of it. Sawa. Yeah. 2.4 million. Now, that informs our fourth point here. Do you know we are ranked position 3 in Africa, best African country for working remotely? So if somebody in Indonesia wants remote workers, they will think about Kenya. We are number 3 in Africa. Tuko number 3, eh? Tuko number 3. Before tuende kwa number 1 ni nani? I want to remind you that you are still not part of it. Are you together? Are you together? So, I just want to spark your interest into this thing because it is real. Sawa. So kuna mahali tuko number 3 na hauko ndani. That's the first thing. So, I want us to dwell into that as we answer her question. Who is number 1? Okay? Different researches, they rank these two countries differently. One can be number 1, then the other one can be number 2. Okay? It's always either Egypt or South Africa. So the two are the top 2. Right together? Egypt or South Africa. Why are we number 3 and they are number 1? Na kwa nini tumekuwa number 3 since 2010 na hatuwezi wafikia? The reason we are number 3 na hizo company hatuwezi zi overtake in the near future. Even myself as a person who is in that space, I can tell you for sure, we can't reach to where they are anytime soon. They concentrate more on technical work. We concentrate more on administrative work and basic work. So, sisi Wakenya tukifanya writing na data entry, wao wanafanya software development, vitu kubwa, okay? So kazi unafanya na 1 week, pesa unapata, huo msee anaweza ipata na one day. Are you together? So, you spend like 3 months doing writing, you get 100,000 or 150,000. For him, he spends the same 3 months developing a website and he's paid 500,000, 1 million. Sawa sawa? So, value ya pesa yenye wanapata is because of the technical things that they are able to do. Tuko pamoja? But for us, tunafika hapo. That's why you are seeing government trying to change our curriculum into CBC, kids being taught coding. Are you together? So that we can go a bit technical, making sure that we have computers for people to practice and those kind of things, because being technical is very good and it cannot be replaced. So mimi nilikuwa nimezoea kufanya writing kitambo. Sasa hii kuna ChatGPT. Okay? Client badala anipe job, ana prompt ChatGPT, mimi nakosa job. Si ndio? But when it comes to developing a website, even if ChatGPT can generate a code, to execute it you need a skill. Sawa sawa? Hapo ndipo tunapotelea. That's why hata mimi nashindanga YouTube University. Tunaitanga YouTube University. Are you together? Always learning a skill. Mimi nashindanga YouTube nikisumbuana na accent ya Wahindi, trying to learn skills. I know you search those things yenye Mhindi anakuongea Kizungu for the first 10 minutes, unatoa shati unachukua notebook. Ikifika 15 minutes na tutorial ni ya 2 hours, Kizungu inamlemea. Anaanza kuongea Kihindi, unaenda kwa tutorial nyingine. Unashinda hapo hadi unachoka, una flap laptop So that is my daily stress. So that is what is making us to be number 3. Another magic number is 29%. And this one is interesting. Who will tell me what it means? It's not a statistic in Kenya, it's a statistic in the US. What does it mean, 29%? Any guess? Population that is youth, quite close.
Population that is
women. Women, quite close. Yes? Working online. Good. Yeah, 29% is the population that is working online in the US. I want to create this picture for you. How many people are in the US? 300 million, not 100. 100 million ni voters. Hao ndio election result unaonanga 50 million hapa, si ndio? There are 300 million today. That is statistics za 2023, sasa wameongezeka. Now, 29% of that, okay, it's not the 29% because kuna watoto. So the working population in US is 165 million. Okay? Working population. So 29% of 165 million, wanakuja watu wangapi? Wanakuja 24 million people. Are you together? Around 24 million people. Now, thereabout, I want you to imagine watu 24 million kila siku hawamkangi ati wanaenda kwa ofisi, they don't occupy ati traffic jam, wako tu kwa manyumba zao every day. Do you know hiyo ni nusu ya Kenya? Hiyo ni kama Nairobi, Kiambu, Machakos, Kajiado combined, kila siku hakuna mtu kwa barabara. They wake up in the houses and they are earning more than us. Some of them employing us on part-time. Are you together? That's a very good statistic. So 16% of companies operate fully remote in the US. And I can give you an examples of companies to note, okay, that employ 100% remote. Unapata company is a HR firm. They offer HR solutions to brands, okay? And their team of talent acquisition specialists, people management specialists, all HRs and manner of their titles. They are global and they just operate within a website. Are you together? Ni mingi sana. Kuna companies ambazo ni software development companies, graphic design companies, call center companies, digital marketing companies that are fully remote and they are hiring remote people. And of course, 10,000 hours, that is close to 1.5 years. It is researched that is the time that it takes through guided practice for somebody to master a skill. Okay? Hiyo ni kama kwenda shule upate diploma. But I want to give you hope that is not all that is required. Myself, I've given myself a mandate that kila mwezi lazima nisome kitu mpya. I must master a skill every month. Are you together? That is a challenge I gave to myself. Okay? Yeah. This month, I'm pursuing something called search engine optimization. Is a subset of digital marketing. Are you together? As in msi akinipea website yake, naizaje boost visibility yake online. Ukisearch on Google, iache kukuja huko page 50 ya Google, ikuje hapa juu. Are you together? That is about ranking. It's called search engine optimization. I'm mastering that this month. And I don't just learn aimlessly. I research ni nini inahitajika sana. We call them monetizable skills. What are skills that you can learn and quickly earn money from them? Global freelance platforms, those people who use platforms, will rise, they rose by 30% in 2023. That is to say, you people said you know Remotas, you know Upwork. So things like Upwork and Remotas, ziliongezeka na 30% last year. Okay? Digital economy contributes to that, to global economy, 11.5 trillion in US dollars. Those are money in people's pockets, money in people's banks, people who are earning from companies they don't go to physically. Companies save an average of that amount per employee annually by hiring remotely. Now, if you go to any company here in Nairobi, utaona kuna department ya IT, si ndio? Kuna software developer wa hiyo company. Hakuna company hii dunia huwa inahitaji new softwares to be developed every day. In fact, all they do is maintenance and training new staff on how to use these softwares. Are you together? Now, there is higher value to you and to the client if you choose to go online. Sawa sawa? Yeah. Mimi, if my boss was to require me in office every day, he will part ways with at least 500 every day, if not to give me fuel, to give me fare. He saves that by allowing me to work from home. Sawa sawa? So the need for skilling. Digital skills are very sustainable. And a research by Forbes also says that 50% of all employees will need reskilling due to the shift towards digital work. Kuna jobs zinaenda zikipotea, and you can only remain relevant if you skill yourself. We have over 27 modules, which is all this kind of online working skills packaged into a curriculum, which we offer as a specialized free training. Are you together? So invest in skills. We are offering free training. We are not the only ones offering free training. Everywhere you find somebody willing to train you for free, online or offline, embrace it. Kitu umejua leo, it can be something that you find probably ni kitu kidogo, but itakuokolea in future. So what does the future look like? Today we are looking at digital work as a path for sustainability. For us, we are in SDG 8, which is about digital, it's about decent work and economic growth. So the reason I see this as a very decent job, as a very good way to look at decent work, is that as a remote worker, there is very little residue, or there is very little that you lose on the process of getting what you are what you are struggling to get. Ukienda kulima lazima uweke chemicals chini and all those kind of things. In traditional jobs lazima upande gari, ina emit diesel na nini, lazima uchoke ndio upate. Are you together? But for remote work, there is a lot that is saved for you to be able to achieve this. So that is what we are trying to achieve. The transformation could create up to 100 million jobs globally by 2030. Jobs zinaenda ziki-increase. Na hata kama hizi ni statistics zimefanywa na Forbes na FDS, I want to tell you as a person, nimekuwa kwa hii industry for 9 years. Are you together? Today I can count off between 17 and 30 of people who always look for me whenever they have something that they want done. Are you together? I'm not able to do all that. So I've employed people here in Kenya, a few of them, on writing, on design, on website development, But I can tell you, as a person who has been in the industry, and anyone else who has been an online worker will tell you, hizi kazi zinaenda zikiongezeka. Right, together? Zinaenda zikiongezeka. Through Ajira Digital Program, in 2020, because we are also involved in looking at the demand side and generating work through government. Tunaangalia tunasema, government, are there jobs that you can hire people remotely? Are there things that you can do online? Right, together? And there is this interesting job in the judiciary of Kenya. Simnasianga cases zimelala. Kesi imelala miaka 6. Simnasianga mambo sijui file imepotea. So kwa nini file iwekwe kwa shelf in 2020? Right, together? When it can be put in a digital repository. So we were once given a project as Ajira to provide workers who are going to digitize government records. Okay? Where all these records that are stored in an analog way, you put them digital, to be digital records. Sawa sawa? A lot of those files have been digitized. Hata ukikaa miaka 10, tuna click, okay? We get your record, ulifanya hivi, this was the details, hakuna kitu imepotea. Are you together? So we were outsourced to do transcription in the judiciary. As the judge makes a decision, you can able to write verbatim whatever the judge is saying, and that can be stored as a record, as a digital record. Are we together? Ministry of Land, digitization of all those processes. And there is a lot of work. You'll hear the president talking about CCI, call center in Ruiru, vitu ni mob. So governments, not just the private sector, are also looking at what more can we generate. So as a person who has been in the industry, I'll tell you with a lot of confidence, easy job ni mob, na zinaendelea kuwa mob. Be at the right position such that when an opportunity comes, it finds you in the right position. Sindio? So how do you position yourself? Acquire the right skills. Okay? Sisi tunasemanga, we don't have an age limit when we are training. We usually target between 18 to 35. But if somebody feels digital ready and they have a skill, well and good. So skilling, be proficient in something, get certified if possible, become knowledgeable in something, and you'll be good at it. Sawa sawa. Online work, as we speak about skilling, is not a special curriculum. Okay? So mimi siwezi enda kwa teachers college, niambie wase, achaneni na walimu kwanza. Si mnaona vile walimu wana strike huku nje? Achaneni nayo. What I tell them is, this skill that you have, let me show you who else needs it online. Are you together? So online work is special curriculum. Si vitu mpya una learn. Our training is not at something that kind of diverts you from your mainstream line of pursuit. It's about that which you know, where can we put it into action and you earn from it. If there is something that you must learn, ni kidogo sana. Are you together? So come confident, knowing that you are ready and you can take up this job. So skilling is one. Network. Okay? Huwezi jua msi anahitaji nini unless you talk to them. Sindio? Yeah. So sometimes do what we call cold calls. Cold pitching. Okay? Yeah. Saa zingine job sio lazima ikue advertised. Ndio uifanye nini? Uipate. Mimi for me, because it was a requirement for me to go to attachment nikiwa university, I had problems because I've been an online worker since nikiwa second year. So I had this problem ya, mimi sasa nitaenda mahali 6 months bila kulipwa. Ati ni attachment. Na usipoenda uta graduate. Okay? So I had that problem and it was giving me a very huge problem in my mind because I was used to remote. So mimi nikasema, okay, I'll try to think of what more I can do to get a better attachment because of my condition. Na mimi najua nisipo work, sitalipa rent, na siwezi rudi kwa hostel. Okay? Na mzazi hata nilipia. So there is a company in Ngong called Ultimate Vet Serve Limited. This company, what they do, they import agrovet chemicals. Mnaonanga agrovet. So hawa madaktari wa wanyama ama mifugo wanaenda wananunua wanaenda hapo. So this company, what they do, they import these chemicals from Europe, wanakuja huku wanazirepackage, then wanauzia madaktari wa mifugo. So when I went to that company, niliwaambia mimi nataka job and I want a special job that will not be demanding to you people, but it will be of huge value to your company. The director alikuwa anaitwa Dr. Mandieka. Akaniambia, you see this company, hata hatujui umetujua aje. Okay? Because sisi we don't have brandings here. Hatujui umetujua. Nikamwambia nimeambiwa na msi alikuwa anafanya kazi hapa. Anaitwa nani? Henry. So that man told me, you see that lady over there? That is my wife. And my wife is 68 years old. Okay? The lady mwenye umepita pale is my daughter. She's the quality assurance officer of this place. Then there is another lady there who was an accountant. Then there was Henry there who is a marketer. Na kuna mwingine aitwa Egesa who is a marketer. Akaniambia, all of us here have one thing in common. We've worked in this company for 25 years. Okay? Hatujahitaji mtu mwingine. Kwa sababu we are able to pay our salaries and increase our salaries by a good margin every year. So hatujahitaji mtu mwingine. So nikamuuliza, because I'm already a graduate, because niko third year. How do you manage to beat competition if you are not increasing employees, you are not growing on that kind of front? Akaniambia, we rely on 70 loyal customers who we have in Kenya. Na nikauliza, hauoni kama wanaweza pata mtu mwingine? Akaniambia, wakiweza kaacha wapata mtu mwingine, I'm already 80 years. I have nothing to lose. Mimi akanimefikisha niko sawa. Hata nikienda hakuna shida. Okay? So I told them, for the sake of your children and those wenye utaachia hii biashara, there is something I have for you. You are not Googleable. Nilimwambia hivyo, you are not Googleable. Tukikugoogle hatuwezi kuona. You are doing a very good job, but when we Google you, we cannot see you. Okay? That company was not online. Hawako Facebook, hawako na social media page yoyote, hawana website. They do calls. Hata wako na ile simu ilikuwa inakaa hivi. Unaona? Call, unataka nini leo? That is what they have operated all their years. Nikawaambia, by being online, you can get at least 10 more people. They can be far, and maybe they can give you big orders. Akaniambia, what do you mean by being online? So I wrote for him a note. Nikamwambia, this is the digital strategy that I'm giving for your business. I was in that year. Nikamwambia, number 1, a website. Number 2, at least a company profile ambayo inaweza kuwa displayed online. Number 3, at least 3 social media pages. Veterinaries ama agrovets, watu wanaown hizo business, hatutawapeleka Instagram ama wapi. Let's just do Facebook, Twitter, now it's X. Are you together? And maybe one other ambao tutafikiria it is more aligned to people in agriculture. So akaniambia, what you need ni attachments, ndio? Akaniambia, you weka hapa, do those things that you have told me. If we get an additional customer, I'll give you a job. Okay? I'll employ you. So mimi nikapata attachment hivyo. And I developed a simple website for them. I started optimizing it simply. Hata leo sijai kuwa mpoa in SEO. I created a Facebook page for them on Facebook. Na nikatengeneza an online store for them on a platform that is called, there is a platform that was owned by WhatsApp that was creating an online store. Ilikuwa inakaa MailChimp. So hiyo ni kupiga tu vitu picha na kuziweka hapo. Unaona vile watu wanafanya kwa WhatsApp business, but now it was a more professional one. And now we started marketing those things. Kutumia watu link. You are trying to find agrovets online. And I remember the first person we got was 1 month and around 3 weeks into my attachment. We got one client alikuwa Makuyu somewhere in Murang'a. I knew that place first time through that sale. They needed 1 carton of injectables, the 500 ml. To vitu to agrovet unaweza pata kakitu kadogo carton moja, but it's very expensive. They are even transported through refrigerated transport. And it was valued for 35,000. I didn't want to know what the profit is from all that, but that's how we were selling it. That's the first thing we delivered, okay? So the person reached out from online na tukadeliver hiyo kitu Na umsi akalipwa cha ukweli. Na akaniambia, pesa imefika, mzigo wangu haijapotea. Sawa, okay? So that person started believing that that thing can work. And we started doing it. By the time I was leaving after 6 months, we had gotten 9 people who had purchased through the online place. So my work was only to train somebody who can go along with these systems so that the company can now start operating through a website and through e-commerce. So I'm making that point to show you that sio kila mtu atakupea job hii Kenya, atapost job uapply. Saa zingine jipeleke. Waambie nimestudy hii company yenu, nimeona kuna kitu amfanyi. Na mkifanya, it can work. Right together? And you can create your own position like that. So the next thing is building a personal brand. Watu wanakujua about what? By the way, have you ever asked yourself, what do people say about you when you are not there and you're not there to clarify? Huh? You're not there to clarify. Have you ever asked yourself, and by the way, somebody said that your personal brand is what people say when you are not there and you're not there to clarify. Zile meza wase wamekaa, wanasema Joel anakuanga public speaker. Na saa hizo Joel hajui kama yeye ni public speaker. Are you together? Your brand is what people know you for even before you know yourself. So have you ever asked yourself, by the way, wase wanasemanga mimi ni nani huko nje? Kuna msee unapitanga hapo jioni ukitoka job kila siku. Msee akikuangalia anajuanga wewe ni nani? How do people know you out there? Ask yourself that question. Kwa sababu kuna simu unapigiangwa, msee anakuambia, si unafanyanga hii kitu? Na hujai mwambia unafanyanga. Are you together? So ask yourself, what is your brand out there? What do people know you for? And strive to be known for as good things as possible, things that are monetizable. Align with sustainable companies. Are you together? Research companies, align with them. There are people who volunteer a lot. Una volunteer miaka 10 unajiuliza, nimevolunteer sana. Okay? Si ndio? Nimevolunteer sana miaka 10. You are still calling yourself a volunteer. It's good, it's godly, na unapata baraka. Sometimes align yourself with brands that can see you. Mimi, I know where I want to work in future. Si ndio? I will always participate for free in those free programs. Nowadays, people don't just hire. They hire people they've spotted somewhere. Poaching is happening a lot. Sawa? Yeah. You share a platform with somebody kama mwenye alikuwa NYS, anaona energy yako ni ya kitu anahitaji huko. Sawa? So sometimes position yourself with brands that you want to be there in future. You want to work for UN. Kesho anakuja Ngong kupanda miti. Just show up and volunteer. Pewa tu hiyo kitu, volunteer tu. Are you together? Wacha wakusport tu na uende home. Are you together? So don't just volunteer aimlessly. Align with sustainable companies that you would want to work or to be with them in future. Now, I want to go to what we offer as Ajira, as my second slide. Sawa? Sisi tuna offer free training and mentorship. And by the way, it is not free. We have over 100 trainers. Those trainers know what I know and maybe more than what I know. Sawa? Kazi yao ni kukupeleka hii safari so that you can be successful in digital work. Hawako interested in another thing. So this is not free. Those trainers are on a salary. They are paid and they are given anything else that a worker is given. So we do what we do at 0 rated cost because we are fully funded. Sawa? So I must say that it is through the generous support of the Mastercard Foundation that we are able to give you all these trainings and mentorship for free. So it's a program that is funded by Mastercard Foundation, okay? And then Immobilis and KESCA now work to do what? To do the implementation, to do the training, to look at the demand for work, and to look at all the other things that we need as people who work there and the country needs for us to excel in digital work. So we are offering free training and mentorship. Our website is ajiradigital.go.ke. You can be trained online or you can be trained physically. For physical training, we work with organizations. Tunaenda kama University of Nairobi, Crew Kenya, Shofco, all these organizations in Nairobi wanatupea youths wao na space kama hii. Okay? We train their youths, mentor them and go. Online, you are able to log in and book a free training on our portal, and you sit on your house on Zoom. Si mnajua Zoom? And you are trained for 5 days. So on a week, we are able to train at least 50 groups in the country because our teams are all over. Hi together. All that trains happen for free. Then we have digital hubs and workstations. Currently, we have 106 in Kenya. Hizo ni kidogo sana. Our work and our mandate is to try and have as many as possible. Halls where you have computers and resources, you'll go and find Wi-Fi, be trained, and then you go. Then we have clubs and communities. We have clubs in higher learning institutions. That is a group of peer mentors, which is a center for people to mentor each other. And we usually have communities. Kama vile mnaona mko na association ya KESCA, si ndio? Sisi pia tunakuanga na Ajira online community. On LinkedIn, you will find Ajira AWS community, Ajira online community, where you join and network with guys who are all into online work. Story hapo ni online work all their life. Sawa. And we sponsor them, and we usually have events and meetups once in a while to bring online workers and allied groups together. And then we have programs for people living with disabilities and programs for women. We call it Ajira for She, okay? Where we focus on products for women, specialized trainings for women, job linkages opportunities for women, and everything about women, and also for refugees. We've been in Dadaab, we've been in Kakuma, we've been in Isli for urban refugees, and needs zao tu. Mse si Mkenya, hana ID, haizi register M-Pesa, hana KRA, so huwezi mtengenezea PayPal, juu PayPal inahitaji ID, okay? Those kind of things. And we have, specialized trainings for them to take care of curriculums that can be able to be good for them. Programs for PWDs, like trainings for the deaf, for those who have problems with eyes. Is there an online work platform for a deaf person? Is there an online work opportunity for somebody who is blind? So we are able to put all that together into a packaged training that we can deliver for such a group. Now, finally, what is our call to action? Okay? Sisi tunawaomba hivi, avail yourself for training. Are you together? Hivyo tu. Kitu inahitajika for you to come to training ni ukuwe tu na will. Are you together? And an open mind. That's all we are asking for. Be willing and have an open mind and show up to our physical or online training. Once you are trained, that's all. So embrace digital skills as opportunities for growth. For policymakers, if there is any in the room, so support policies that promote digital work, advocate for them, and shout out to all those who can be able to support that and will be able to learn. For businesses, invest in digital infrastructure and skills training. So this is all we are asking, and we hope that a lot of people in Kenya, especially the youth, are going to heed to our call. If 29 million people in US are working online, Kenya, youth hata hatujafika 29 million. Hata tukienda sana, maybe tuko hapo 30 million, wengine ni wazee na watoto, si ndio? If 29 million of us are able to make at least 30,000 online, hata hizi vitu mnaona huku nje hamwezi ona. As I finish, because that's my final slide, nataka kuambia hivi, hakuna kitu poa hii Kenya or hii dunia like I've discovered myself, like knowing that sio lazima msia kupea job mahali kwa ofisi yake, okay? Ndio ulipe rent, ndio utume pesa home. Are you together? Ndio sort out to basic things twako. Ati sio lazima msia akuandike on a contract. For those who are employed, okay? The fear of losing your job is so big. And I can tell you that for men and for me, women who are married and they are working, the biggest fear is losing your job and not being able to provide for your family. That thing can cause suicide, it can cause divorce, it can cause all manner of things. Sawa sawa. For you as a young person, the fear of being an adult but a less functional adult. From being a high achiever in school at a tender age to a less functional adult, not being able to sort bills is very bad. Sawa sawa. You can only achieve financial independence if you start embracing the future. And in Ajira, we say the future works online. Sawa sawa. Yeah, so I'll stop there. Thank you for my time. That is all I could have said about Ajira Digital, but of course, you can get more when you attend to our training. Sawa sawa. Thank you very much.